The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey guys, very good evening to all of you. Still, my query has been resolved post ending the LMS styling issue. Hi Nitish. Uh, yeah, it is resolving, Siddhi. We are resolving that. Before this class, you will get the message, or after the class, you can have a Google Meet. Fine, to discuss the issue. Is it fine, Siddhi? Okay. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Okay. So, in the last session, what we discussed in the last session, guys, we completed the authentication in the front end part, correct? From the front end part, we have completed our authentication, correct? So, now let next move on today with our integration of the songs list and all those things. Fine, all those songs list and everything we have to integrate it. Okay. Before moving on, before moving on, if I open you something called as our main website, that is Synthesia. Okay, I'll open you the main website. Fine. You tell me what are the features has been applied on this main website. Just tell me the features applied on the main website. No issues. No need to upload it in Mahima. No need to upload it in the drive. You can directly upload in LMS. Fine. One of our sir is taking care of that. You will get the answer before this class. So Mahima, I would urge you to please post your queries over LMS. Salom sir will help you to do that. Okay. My question over here just related to the song. Okay. If you just check related to the songs, what are the features we are applying? What are the things we are applying? Okay. Let me tell you some things over here. First of all, the play pause button we have, the next and the previous buttons we have, correct? Okay. Just hear me out. Play pause button we have, next and the previous button we have the looping button, we have the shuffle button, we have the playback speed drop down, we have sorry drop up, we have the volume. And if we play the song also, if we like suppose if we play the song over here. Okay, if we play the song over here, fine, let me just play one song. Okay, so we have this thing also. When we are updating this, when we will move my song, what you call timer forward, it will start from there. It will start from there. Correct. So this functionality also we have. Okay. For each and every functionality, do we need a memory to store for each and every functionalities? Just answer me yes or no. For each and every functionalities, do we need memory? Just tell me. For each and for every functionality to be added or to be removed, do we need a memory over here? And if we need a memory, if we need a memory in a component, how do we use to give that memory in the component? How we used to give that memory inside a component? Do you remember anything? Okay, let me tell you that the memory, for the memory, if we remember, we are using one hook called use state. Correct. One hook we are using called use state. Okay, that hook over here. Now that use state of hook will only have one functionality to remember. Either you can remember the play pause button, or you can remember the next button. Now remember why it needed to be remember, because you see, whenever the song is getting played, so whenever the song, this is a continuous thing. By that time, but the song, when it is completed, it needs to remember the thing. Suppose I am playing this fifth song. Correct. Suppose I'm playing this fifth song over here. Now it need next, when it goes to the next song, what will happen? The component get re-rendered. The component get re-rendered. By that time, it should remember, okay, the fifth song was played. Now we have to shift to the sixth song. Now we have to play sixth song. That's why this remembering of the data of the what you call functionalities is there. That's why use state is there, because it needs to remember what was the last song, what song now I have to play. Similarly, go with the play and pause. If you click on the play button, it is playing. Now, how it remembers, how it is remembering that it is playing. If you click on again play button, it is getting paused, because it remembered, because your component get remembered that okay, it was a playing thing. The play button was true, so it was playing. That data is stored somewhere, and then play button true, whatever the functionality related to that, I'm making that as false. Fine, I'm making that as a false. So this is the remembering thing, what we needed. Okay, the loop thing. Fine, the loop thing or the shuffle thing. Shuffle is on. Fine. Shuffle is on over here. That also needs to be remembered. When you click on the shuffle should be off. It should not again be on. So these functionalities over here should be kept in the component as a memory. And if you think hard, one state will only remember one functionality, and we have lots and lots of state to create, lots and lots of state to create them. For play pause button we'll have, for the previous button, for the next button, for the muting the sound, fine, we'll have for shuffle mode, for repeat mode, for playback, for this particular thing, for decreasing the volume, fine. So many things are there, need to be take care of. So it means this many use states we have to write. It means what? This many use state we have to write. So the answer is no. Answer is no. There is some another hook. which which runs like a use state, but it can have more than one use states in them. It's called use reducer. Fine. Use reducer. What it is telling is a React hook for managing complex component state. Yes, we have the complex component state, correct? So for that only, we are using the use reducer. Now, okay, let me open the eraser one. I'll show you there is not much difference between use state and use reducer. If you know use state, correct? If you know use state, there is nothing more you have to remember over here in the use reducer. Huh. Little bit what you have to write more code. That's all. Okay. So see over here, use state. How you are writing? How you are writing use state? Tell me the syntax, please, please. The syntax. You tell me the syntax. How you are writing the use state? See, if you are not interested in studying or something like that, you can tell me directly. Fine, I'm not forcing anyone, but I am expecting an answer. At least you can give me the syntax of use state. At least what you can do is you can copy paste from the Google and at least send it in the chat. Thank you, Prerna. Thank you. So she has written const. What we are writing? State. Fine. State, comma, set state. Okay. Is equal to use state over here and then the initial state. Fine. Initial state can be anything. Fine. This is how use state you are writing. Correct. If we take the example of like count, fine. If we I would take the example of count, you are writing const count, fine, comma set count. Okay, is equal to use state and the count variable I'm making it as a 0. Okay, then you will write a functionality. Then you will write a function, and there in that function, what you will do, you will write set count and you will update the count variable. Correct? This is what you are doing. This is what you are doing. Set count and update the count variable. So this is one thing what you are doing. Only one thing it is doing. What it is doing, it is updating the count variable. That's all. That's the whole thing what it is doing. But let's take the example of reducer. Okay, let's take the example of reducer. So for the reducer, use reducer, it handles complex state. Correct. So how to write that? First of all, see, you have to write state and you have to write dispatch. Okay, this word might be now familiar to you. State dispatch over here. Okay, sorry. Reducer. correct? And over here in the instead of initial state, before that I will write a reducer. Fine, let me delete this thing. So this is what the syntax of the use reducer. Now see over here. This state represent particularly the state like count and all. That's what this state is representing. And whatever the initial value here we have written, no, here we have written the same initial value here also it is representing the same thing. What is the difference between use reducer and use state over here is that now this reducer function, fine, this is this is the deciding, he is going to decide how the action is going to take place, like how we should update our state. This is what this reducer function is going to decide, how to update the state. Here, how you are updating the state, you are writing use set count count plus plus. That's how you are doing. But here, this is a reducer function. Fine. This reducer function, or it is called a state setter function. This is going to, he is going to decide how to update my state. Okay. State setter function. Fine. Who is going to decide? The reducer. And this is the initial state. Fine. Fine. But here there is one restriction over here. Okay. The restriction is that that it is restricted to only two data type. That is like you can write array, that is array, and object. See, in the use state, you can write like 0, 1, 2, any variable, primitive, non-primitive data type, doesn't matter. But here the initial state will only have a non-primitive data type. Fine, non-primitive data type like arrays and objects. This is one major change from state to the reducer. Fine, and this is the state what we needs to update and all. Fine, so this state actually contains complex data which needs to be updated. Who is updating? Reducer is updating. Okay, now reducer is deciding how to update, what to update, but who will decide when to update? When you have to run this reducer function so that our state is updated. So that is decided by dispatch. Dispatch over here is tell you when to update, and on the update what type of functionality or what reducer function should be run. Fine. Okay. So over here it is telling what what action to perform. Fine. What action to perform? That is told by dispatch. Fine. That is given by dispatch. Okay. See here. Let me give you an example of reducer functions. How to write a reducer function? Let me give you one example over here. Fine. So text. Okay. See, you will write function reducer. Okay. Then you will write over here state comma action. So this state will hold its initial value, guys. Fine. this state over here, it holds initial value, and the action is what action you are going to take place. What are the different actions you are going to take place? Suppose over here, if I tell you that you have to, sometimes you have four buttons, sorry, three buttons over here. One button is going to update my counter, the second button is going to decrease my counter, and the third button is going to reset my counter. For that, in the state, tell me how many states you will write for the use state. How many states you will write for increasing the count, for decreasing the count, and for resetting the count? How many states you will write? Three states. Correct, three states. What I did over here in the reducer is that I have converted these three states into three actions. So first action is what? Increment action. Second action is what? Decrement action. And third action is reset action. Fine. So these action I have divided. Now I don't need to write state over there. I need to write those actions. And these action, who is telling when to perform? Dispatch will tell when this action should be getting performed. How to write these actions, guys? These action can be written with the switch case. Simple as that. Switch case. In this switch, you have to just write action dot type like this. Fine. And then case of case increment. Fine. Increment. Case decrement. And case reset, you can write like this. This is what action is telling. What action to perform? What type of action to perform? Fine. Understood, guys? So this action over here is actually used to write the cases. Just 1 second, guys. Yes. So yeah, like I was telling you about this use reducer, correct? So did you guys understood how this use reducer is working? Just tell me yes or no. Yes, guys. So did you understand the use reducer? Why I'm teaching you this use reducer is because we are going to use this. Fine. Since what I told, we have the functionalities with the audio things, okay, with the audio in our project. So those functionality, as you can see, it's way complex. Fine. For that, so many use state we should not write it, and that is also not feasible. Fine, not feasible when you write so many use state, because you don't know which use state is going to be what you call which use state is going to be what you call rendered, and with that how many different elements is going to be rendered. That thing you don't know, because okay, obviously the use state data change everything, the the component associated with that state will also change, and the parent and the child component also it will change. Correct. Fine. So that's why we are going to use reducer. Okay. After this, what I will tell you that we are also going to create an custom hook. Now, what is this custom hook? And why, sir? Why you are creating a custom hook? Okay. Can you tell me one answer over here? How will you access any HTML element? Fine. How will you access any HTML element in the React? Tell me. Tell me, guys, how you are going to access any element or any HTML tag. Means, like we used to do it in a DOM, no? Get element by ID, get element by class name over here. So how you will take that element or get a control over that element in React? Now here you don't have get element by ID, create element by ID. Actually, you can use that, but it's not recommended. Fine, you can use that, but it is not recommended. You know what is recommended over here? There is a new hook or a different hook called use ref. Use ref means use reference. Fine. So use ref that let you reference to a value that is not needed or rendering. Fine. Means if you see actually what it is doing, it is grabbing that element for you. Okay, grabbing that element for you. It can be used to like hook allowed to persist value between the renders. First of all, what when the rendering happens, it will help you to persist the value. It means it will not change, help you to not change that value, persist it. Means make it constant so that it doesn't change. Instead, even though there is a rendering. Fine. It can be accessed as a DOM element directly. See, this is what. Now, guys, tell me, do we need in our project, do we need an audio? Do we need an audio? Audio element, I'm asking. Audio tag. Tell me, guys, yes or no. At least this you can answer. Yes, we need. We need the audio tags. Correct. We need over here the audio tags. So now in the audio tag, if I show you like what is in their audio tag, you will see n number of functions are there, n number of methods are there inside the uh, audio tag. What are those? See, play pause button, play, pause, fine, volume, then playback speed. Okay, these are some of the things inside audio. Okay, let me show you. Um, let's go on to our code. Fine. Mm, like suppose if I move to JavaScript, correct? In the JavaScript, if I move to mm, let's see basic. Fine, basic. Okay, okay. Now over here in this HTML, I'm writing an audio tag. Fine, an audio tag. I'm not written SRC or something like that. Okay. Now let's select that value. Let's write an ID over here. You don't have to write it. Just see. I've written an ID audio. So over here, I can write const audio is equal to uh, uh, fine, document dot get element by ID. Fine, get element by ID over here. Audio, correct. Const audio is equal to document dot get element by audio. Console dot dir I will do. Fine. Console.dir, I am writing audio. Okay, fine. Let me run this file. I hope how I can run this file. Okay, go live. Fine. Okay, let me inspect this thing. Console. So as you can see, audio and audio is coming. Now see, so many things will be coming over here. Fine. I'll show you some of the things like controls. Fine. Control over the audio. Fine. Inner HTML, inner text, muted, false or true. Muted means if you make it muted true, what will happen? The audio will be getting muted. Correct? Audio will be getting muted. Fine. Similarly, if we go to playback rate, playback rate. Now playback rate 1.25, 0.75, that is there. See, paused is true, pause true, pause false. If we make pause false means play true. Fine. So these states or these functionalities we also need to take care of the audio. Means also need to take out, extract out from it. We need to take out that these functionality, some of these functionalities out of this. So here in JavaScript, it is very easy to do that. How we have done? Const audio is equal to document.get element by id console.log audio, and then we can use over that. But it's not straightforward in React. This is how not straightforward in React. What we do with that, we use ref as an hook. Use ref. Let me tell you more about, or let me show you how to write this use ref actually. Uh, Fine. So use reducer you are learning. Now you will learn use ref. Okay. So if I open this doc, open where is app Node.js over here. Suppose I will create an input tag. This is the basic example you will see everywhere. Let me explain you thoroughly this one. Let's take an input element over here. Okay, small I. Okay, input element over here. Okay, and this is of type text. This is of type what? Text. And okay, fine. Now you see, if I click on this input tag, what will happen? It is coming focused. Now focus means what? Now if you see on the input tag, nothing is there. If I click on the input tag, that one line is coming. Fine, one line is coming. Okay, and then you see the borders has been getting like has been bolded out. Means getting broader. Fine, getting broader. Okay, if you see now it is nothing happened. Now it is happening. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to use, or I want to make this functionality using a button. Means what? If I am clicking on this button, fine, button, focus. That's what it is actually called, focus input. Fine. So what I want to do, if I click on the button, same thing should happen. Now whatever I showed you, now, if I click on this input tag, see focus is going on, focus is coming, correct? If I click on this button also, this focus should come. If I click on this button, this focus should come. Or if I click on this button, some value should appear, or some placeholder should appear. So how should I do that? How should I do that? So for doing that, first we have to take the input. First we have to take out the input. First we have to select that input tab. How to select that? Using the ref. Let me show you how. So you will write const input. Now name can be anything. Fine, name can be anything. Input ref is equal to use ref over here. Fine, use ref, and this you have to give an initial value. I give it null. You can give any value input. Fine. Now over here, if you have written input ref is equal to use ref, one more thing you have to write. Go to that particular element or go to that particular HTML. You write ref is equal to input ref. Fine. Now input ref over here stores this value, this element, you know. How? Okay, let me show you how. I'll write a functionality const handle focus. Correct. Handle focus. One function I am writing. In this function, I just want to do a console.log. Fine. Console.log, and this input ref or this use ref has only one thing to use, that is current dot current. So you have to write input ref dot current. Input ref dot current. Nothing more you have to do. Fine. And when I click on this button, fine, this functionality is running. This handle focus should run. So on click property, this functionality should run. So that is handle focus. This functionality should run. And where I have to see in the console. So here is the console over here. Fine. Let me delete everything. Fine. Maybe there is an error. Maybe it comes. Fine. Now if I click on the button, can you see I am getting an HTML input element? This is why this HTML input element, if I open, is it not looking like whatever we saw now with this one? See here, access key, aria active descendant element. Is it not looking like the same? See, correct. Now what we have done, we have taken all the functionalities of this input, whatever it is holding, we have taken it. We have taken it in our control. Now you can write anything. You can write dot current dot placeholder. Fine. And remove this console.log. Placeholder and whatever the value you want. Whatever the value you want. Like hello. Like hello. So now if you click on this button, what should happen? Hello should appear as in placeholder. Similarly, if you see very often they are talking about focus. So focus is just a method over here. Fine, focus like this. So if I refresh it now, fine. If I refresh it now, focus, see, focus came. Focus came, see, focus came. So what I did, I grabbed one element and use their functionalities. Fine, change their functionalities or I try to add those functionalities. That's why I have done. So can we do the same thing? Not the focus. Can we do the same thing for audio also? Yes, we can do that. We can do that. Fine. So that's why we need the use ref as a state also. You can write this example for your reference. Fine. Over here, just one more thing you write, that console.log, so that you can remember. Console.log. You can write it in notebook. No need to type it somewhere. Input ref.current. This will always remind you that what this input ref is holding. And it does not only helps in the input tag. It any tag, any element, if you are writing, if you want the access, any tag, it will work. Understood, guys? This one, use ref, you understood? Yes or no? Tell me, guys. Understood both of that? Use reducer and use ref. Okay. Now you understand that use ref. What is use ref? What is use reducer? Over here, I'll open what is use reducer. Now we want to use both of these hooks. Fine. We want to use both of these hooks for our project. So wherever guys you are using more than one hook, and in every component we need this both hooks. In every component, if you see, in each and every component we need these both hooks. So should we go and write in each and every component these two hooks and use it? Isn't that the repetition of the code? Yes, it's a repetition of a code. So that's why we have to use a custom hook. Custom hook will nothing but these both hooks will be used in that custom hook. Nothing, it is not new concept over here. What we have done, we have binded both the hooks into one single hook, and we will use that one single hook in every other component. This is what a custom hooks does. Fine. So let's create in our project this custom hook where we are using this use reducer and this use ref. Fine. See, if you are going to tell in your interview that, sir, I know use reducer and use ref, that is a plus point for you. That's why I took time to make you understand. Because these type of hooks, generally people think like freshers over here, they thought like only use effect, use state is there. And they memorize use callback, use memo. Fine, they memorize those things because use callback use memo you will not use until and unless you are scaling up your performance or you are scaling up your project. Use reducer on that hand, if you are again scaling up more, you have to use that use reducer. Fine. So that is a plus point for the interviewer, that use reducer, use ref. Simply they will ask you what kinds of hooks in React. So use effect and use state, as everybody is saying, what the different you are telling, that stands in the interview. Fine. Yes, I'm reading the comment. I think Tixic 1552. I'm reading the comments. If you have anything suggestion or any doubt, please feel free to answer or feel free to comment it. Fine. So let's create hooks. Fine. So So we will go to our front end, full stack front end over here. In this front end, we will go to SRC. In this SRC, we are going to create a new file, not new file, new folder over here. Fine. Okay, fine. Thank you. From the next time, I will use context over there. Okay. So we are going to use the folder name. You can write hooks. Fine. Okay. And in this new file, create a new file, right? Use audio player .jsx not jsx js. Remember, and how you are knowing that this is a custom hook, because we are using the word use. Fine. We are using the word use over here. So use audio player.js audio player.js is the new custom hook what we are going to create. Which month internship will be? This month, I think. Maybe I'll try to finish it by this Friday. Okay, so we'll start writing it. First of all, we are going to write for the reducer part of it. Correct. For the reducer part of it, okay, we have to write the initial state. Correct. So what I will write, const initial audio state. Fine. Initial audio state is equal to curly bracket over here. Fine. Whether it is playing or not. Fine. Playing, make it what? False. Okay. Is loading. Is the song loading? Make it what? False. Fine. What I told you in this particular, that restricted to only two type of data type. Now we are writing object, guys, if you see. Fine. So is loading, is playing. Fine. Is muted, that is what? False. Fine. Volume 1. Okay. Loop enabled. Loop enabled. Fine. Loop enabled means that looping functionality. Okay. So that is false. Okay. That is false. Shuffle enabled. Toxic, when you joined this internship, like now or from the starting you are? False. Playback speed. Fine. Playback speed 1. Uh, Current song or current index. Fine. Current index. So that can be null value. Okay. Current song, that is a null value. Current time is a zero value. Okay. Fine. So these are the initial state. Fine. Let me write some reducers. Now see, guys, how we are writing the reducers over here. Sorry, one reducer over here. How we are writing the reducer. So the function, how to write function, sorry, function audio reducer over here. Fine. And then state an action. Fine. Okay. Then switch statement. Fine. Switch statement over here. The key, what we are going to take, key action dot type. Action dot type. That is the key. Fine. What is the value? The first value is first is the loading one. Fine. Loading one. What will happen when we are writing for the loading? So return. Fine. Return what? Return all the state. Fine. Return all the state. See, I have used a spread operator. And make is loading. Make was, sorry. Make is loading. Fine. What? True. Did you understand this thing? Tell me, guys. Did you understand this thing? How from how many days you are following this project, Toxic? just now. So I would suggest if you watch the recordings, okay, if you watch the recordings, everything will get clear, whether it is a context or not. Fine. We have something called as store over here. Okay, so we are using Redux toolkit. So no need of context. In action, we are returning the whole of the state. In that state, we have changed is loading value to true. Here is loading is false. That what we have updated. When we hit this case, that is loading case, will will update this value. Okay, fine. Next one is okay. Let me remove this default. Next case over here uh, is play. Fine, play. So in the next case over here, play, we have to return what we have to return, guys. Tell me. We have to first of all spread the state over here, the whatever the state it is going on. Make is playing. Make is playing to true, correct? And then is loading. Sorry, every time that long term is loading to what? False. Fine. Similarly, the case for pause, pause, correct? So that in that we are going to return what? Dot 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 state over here, and in that I'm going to write is playing false. Okay. In the case of mute, what should happen? Can you tell me? In the case of mute, what should happen? You tell me this time, guys. What should I write, guys? Tell me. Nice, Prerna. Nice. So dot 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 state comma is muted to okay. Similarly, the case of unmute. Similarly, the case of unmute over here, in which I'll return fine dot 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 state and then is muted. Make it what? False. Fine. Case set volume. Fine. Set volume. Over here in the set volume, we will write return state state. Fine. Then what we have to write? Volume. Now volume maybe 0, maybe 0.1. Volumes are 0 to 1 actually. So whatever, if it is representing 100% volume, means it is represent volume 1. If it is representing 50% of volume, means 0.5. So 0 to 1, it is ranging. Our volume is ranging. 0 is the minimum, 1 is the maximum. Okay. So the volume can be now anything. 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. It depends on the user. Correct. So that's why what we have to write over here, action dot payload. That is, this payload is now sent by the user from the front end part. Fine. From the front end, from the whatever user is selecting, that payload data we are sending, we are updating that value. The volume can be 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.75. Based on that, our volume will get updated. Initially, the volume will be on the 100%. Initially, volume is what? 100%. Okay. Then case, fine. Case toggle loop. Fine. Toggle loop in which return, fine, return, I'll write like dot state, fine, comma, loop enabled. Loop enabled will be what? True. When the loop is enabled, should the shuffle be enabled or disabled? Or we can write very easily, one more thing we can write, whatever the state dot loop enabled it is, make it the opposite. If we are toggling the loop, it means if the loop enabled is false, make it true. If it is true, make it false. Okay. And whatever the scenario it is, shuffle enabled will be false. Fine. Similarly, I will write for toggle shuffle. Fine. Toggle shuffle. Okay. Yeah. Are you able to understand, guys, up to here? Any doubt? Okay. I hope not. So toggle shuffle is done. Fine. Const set, sorry, not const, case. Fine. Case. Um, 1 second. Ah, case set underscore play back underscore speed. Okay. Can you tell me for this, how should I write our return element? How should I write our return element, guys? Can you help me to write for this playback speed? Anyone from GoTo, please answer. YouTube. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So it will be dot 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 state over here, comma, uh, whatever you have written over here, playback speed, that you can copy over here, action dot payload. Yes, thank you, Akshay. After this, case for set current track. Fine. Set current track. Okay. So over here, a return element. Fine. A return element. In that return element, again, I will write a state. Open a state. Fine. Current index value. Current index value will be action dot payload. Fine. Action dot payload dot index value. Whatever the index value it is coming. Fine. Okay. Current song will be again action dot payload dot song. Fine. We are going to send it from there. Don't worry. Fine. Is loading, again make is loading what? True. Okay. Next case, and this is the last case, guys. Set set underscore current underscore time. Fine. Okay. So return tag, sorry, return, what we'll write, dot 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 state. Fine. State comma current time is equal to action dot payload. Fine. Lastly, default, fine, default return state. That's all your reducer. Any doubt up to here, guys? Fine. Now next what we are going to do is that we are going to now write our custom hook. Fine, custom hook. So simple, it is very simple. Const use audio player. Fine, that is our custom hook. which is going to take the songs, whatever the songs list it is coming to him, that songs it is going to take. Fine. And then it is going, we are going to write the hook where it is going to return some values and all. Fine. So const, first of all, audio state. Fine. Audio state. Okay. Initial audio. No, sorry. Audio state, comma, fine. Action, sorry, dispatch. Fine. Dispatch is equal to use reducer. Fine. And use reducer. First of all, you have to write the reducer, that is audio reducer. Fine. Then initial audio state. This is what we have to write. Next, let's take one more state over here for duration. Now duration has to be passed 0, 1, 2, 3, up to the song's length. Fine, up to the song length. For that also we are going to take one state over here. Okay. So not over here. Const, which is taking, like, which is keeping the time integration. Fine. So duration, okay, comma, set duration. Use state, and this will be 0, starting with 0. Then we need const previous. Fine. Previous volume ref. Previous volume ref is equal to use ref, because we need to have an access of this input tag of for volume. That's why we are taking it. Fine. So for them, write use ref 1. Okay. Const audio ref, that is the important thing, is equal to use ref. Fine. And that is null. Now see, these are how many states we have written? 1, 2, sorry, how many hooks we have written? 1, 2, and 3 hooks we have written. Now, if we have not created a custom hook, what we have to do, these 3 hooks will be always written in different components. Just to avoid that, what we have done, we have written everything inside one component, and then we will do such things. Okay. Now this is what we have written over here. Uh, okay, this, I am sorry, this will be inside over here. Okay, so this is what I have written, the state. Now I have to write the functionality. Okay, we have to write the functionality, what this use audio player is going to help us. Those functionality as I have to return. So suppose first one is that play a song at a specific index value. Play a song at a specific index value. Now what is this means if you are clicking on 1, it is showing, it is playing the first song. If you click on 5, it is playing the 5th song. If you click on 10, it is playing the 10th song. That thing, that specific values of a specific song I need to play, that how we have to load it inside our audio. That functionality we are writing. Please write up to here, then we will start it writing. So see over here, guys, I'll write const play song at index, correct? Play song at index, which is taking an index value, which will take an index value, fine, whatever the index you choose, fine, that index value, it will come over here. Then we will check, then we will sanitize, fine, if the songs are there or not. If there is no songs, or songs dot length, length, length is not there, is triple equal to 0, correct? Then what we have to do, console console dot warning you can give, you know, new thing, console dot warning you can give that no song available to play. No song is available to play. And then to quickly return from here, we don't need to do forward anything, correct? Now, if we have songs, then we need to check whether the index value is less than 0, have you mentioned, or or index value is greater than or equal to songs dot length. Then return. Here also I'm not going to entertain anything. -1 or songs dot length means 50, 60, 17 if you go, then return it, because we have a limit of 15 datas, 0 to 14, 0 to 14, correct? We have only 15 datas. Second sanitization, fine. After everything has passed, we will write const song, fine, const not dong, song is equal to songs and then the index value. That is what we have done. Now, guys, over here, please, everyone look carefully. What we are going to do. Since we have got the song over here, we need to update our state. We need to update our component state over here. Correct. So I'll write dispatch. Fine, dispatch. And in this dispatch, what I'll write, what type of functionality you want to run, what type of reducer functionality you want to run. So that type is what? Set current underscore current, fine, underscore track, fine, where the payload, where the payload is index comma song. If you remember, guys, set current track, okay, I have written song or what, set current track. In this, we are getting current index value, which is coming from action.payload. And over here in the payload, we are sending the index value, and current song action.payload.song, where I'm sending the song value. Fine. Fine. After this, one more dispatch we will do. One more dispatch we will do. And then what we'll write? This will be of type set underscore current. Anytime a new song is loaded, we need to start the timer again. So set current time, comma, payload colon 0. Okay. Now, guys, now after this, const audio is equal to, I will write audio ref dot current. Fine. Okay. What does this represent? Audio ref dot current. If you go to our over here, this code, you see input ref dot current. What it represents? The component, the whole, not the component, the element. So that element access actually I'm giving to this audio. Fine. I'm giving to this audio over here. Now what I will do, I'll write audio dot load. Fine. audio will load it. Correct. Audio dot load means load it. Okay. And before this, I need to sanitize it. Sanitize means if there is no audio, fine. Then return. No need to work further. Return. Fine. No need to work further. And then dispatch what type loading. Fine. Dispatch the time loading. What will by that time what will happen? Audio dot load will happen. Then audio audio dot playback speed. Fine. Playback rate. I'm sorry, playback rate over here. You can also see this one document audio. It is written playback rate. Playback rate. Fine. So this value will become what? This value will become is equal to uh, is equal to audio state. Fine. Audio state dot playback speed. Okay. Then audio dot play. Fine. Audio dot play dot then method. Fine. Okay. Dot then method in which we are going to write a callback function. In this callback function, we are going to dispatch. Fine. What we are going to dispatch? Type of play. Fine. And dot catch over here, we are going to display the error. Fine, error. So I'll write console dot error. Fine. This is how what. So what we have done when you select the song, first of all, when you select the song, first of all, I make I take out that song particular song data. Then once I take out that song data, I update my state variable using dispatch, and then I update my time variable using dispatch. Fine. Then I take the audio out of it. Fine. Means get the access of the audio. Then loading state I have done, and let the audio take it time to load it. That's what I am doing. Once it is loaded, what we are doing, audio dot playback rate is will be equal to audio state dot playback speed. Audio state means whatever the initial state was there with that playback speed, it will get updated. Whatever the playback speed it is, you have updated. Fine. Audio dot play, audio dot play, and then this play actually it is giving me promise. Fine. So that I am handling that then block. Fine. Not promise, actually asynchronous operation we are doing. Dot then block. Okay. Here we are dispatching the play in which is playing will become true. Okay. And then catch where we are just console dot error doing the error logging. This is what we are doing in one functionality over here. Did you understand? Tell me guys about this. Guys, did you understand this one? Is there any doubt? Okay, let me write one more for you. Okay, const handle, fine, handle toggle play, fine, is equal to, uh, tell me guys, what should I write over here? First of all, const audio is equal to audio ref dot current, correct? If there is no audio, then return sanitization we have done, correct? If audio dot paused, fine, if audio dot paused, if you remember, we have that audio dot paused over here, over in the functionality of audio tag, correct? Fine, the objects key value. Okay, if audio dot paused is true, then audio dot play, fine, play dot then method, a callback function, we will write a callback function where I will dispatch, fine, where I will dispatch the type of what, PLA, play, and dot error dot catch, sorry, dot catch console dot error play error. That's all. Fine. If otherwise, else what we can do? If the audio dot pause is false, then we can write audio dot pause. We can write like this. Fine. And dispatch over here, what? Dispatch type pause. Fine. So over here, if you go check it out, this one paused. Okay. 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 So that's it for today, guys. So we will actually continue tomorrow and write this whole. Actually, it is a quite long uh, uh, state over here. What hook we are creating? Fine, quite long because so many more functionalities we have to add it over here. Okay, so that's all for today. So if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Those who have reported the issues in the LMS, I think you got a reply. Fine. You'll get more follow-ups on that that when once you confirm whether your problem has solved or you are getting still that problem, fine, don't worry about that. You can go and check right now that those things. Fine. So thank you guys for joining this session, and I hope you liked whatever we discussed today. So thank you everyone. Have a good night. So Aaron, when we have to okay, we will in the LMS you have to submit this internship project what we are building, and once I completed it building means I have taught teach you how to that whole the project. Again, I'll give you 2 more weeks to submit it. Fine. Within that 2 weeks, you have to submit that project. Once you submit the project, then you will get the certificates.
While clicking that sign up or login pop-up not appear, do you have any idea? Login or sign up?
CSS she has not written correctly, or that Moodle in the common folder, na Moodle, she has not written properly. That you can check.
But nothing else is not showing.
You, you
Okay.
go do a Google Meet with her. And, start the one. Mhm. Yo.